living paycheck to paycheck when I had a paycheck. Sometimes I didn't have a paycheck, so I would come to the food bank over here with 6 Stones. And came with my daughter one day, and really sweet lady decided, she's like, well, I've got a program I want to tell you about, but I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. And I said, okay. I met my husband in 2015. We met at a theology meetup that was hosted by one of the Sunday school teachers at our church. And he was funny, and we got along, and there were so many things that we had in common. I fell in love with him. We had a great marriage, but he lost his job at Verizon and had a hard time finding a job after that. His anxiety got a lot worse. He was seeing his therapist. He refused to take any medicine for it because he said medicine in the past really messed him up. I tended to go to work really early in the morning, so I went to bed really early at night. And he was a night owl, and so he would stay up. And he had just had an interview, and he cracked a nerdy joke to the store manager, and the store manager didn't get it and told him that he was not a right fit and that he could just go on about his merry way. Well, little did that store manager know that that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I knew he was upset, so I ordered pizza and wings that night and said, let's just have a good time and forget about things. Tomorrow's a new day. We'll start over tomorrow. And he said, okay. He tucked me in with a smile on his face, and I took my sleeping medicine and all my nighttime medicines, and I went to sleep. And my alarm went off the next morning. And I looked over, and he wasn't in bed. And I thought, this is nothing new. I find him asleep in another room all the time. He was in his office, and the light was off, and the window was open. The patio door was half open. And I thought, oh, well, fell asleep. So I walked in there, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and it was cold, but with the window being open, I didn't think anything about it. And I'm like, hey, you fell asleep in your chair again. And he didn't move. And I turned around and I flipped on the light, and that's when I realized he had shot himself. I tried so hard to scream, but nothing would come out. And I found my phone and I called 911. And I just remember sobbing. I tried to call my mom, but I couldn't get words out. And I just handed the phone to the police officer, and I said, help. And so he looked and he redialed the number that I had dialed, and he said, ma'am, I just wanted to let you know that your daughter's okay, but Eon has hurt himself pretty bad, and your daughter needs you to come here. My mom lived in Cleburne and we lived in Euless, and that was the longest hour and a half of my life, because all I could do was just sit there and replay every moment in my mind. How did I not see this? How could I, have let it get this bad? Why couldn't I have stopped him? Why wasn't I enough? It led to so many things in my life. It led to bad time at the job. It led to a lot of health problems. It led to a lot of emotional and mental problems. The psychiatrist that saw me gave me a battery of tests, and he put me on quite a few medicines, and it got worse. And I went to see my doctor, and he said, "How are you, Miss Holt?" And I said, "I'm suicidal, doctor." He said, "Will you go check yourself into the emergency room?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." And he says, "Will you promise me that you will call someone and that you will get into therapy and that you will have a family member that or someone that's around you all the time?" And I said, "Okay." So I went home, and my son took all of my pills away, and he gave me my medicine when I needed it. And a friend took me in right before we started the program. And I told her, I'm like, well, there's this program, and I think I want to go to it. I said, because I think I could learn a lot of things, and maybe that could help get maybe my job perspective back in order, and maybe then other things will fall into place. And she said, well, I think that would be a really good idea. She goes, but you need to be open to what you might learn and what might happen. And I'm like, oh wait, what do you mean? They're teaching me how to write a resume and, how to budget. And she's just like, just be really open. And I was like, okay. I came in that first night and I'd had a fight with my mom and didn't make any money that day. I didn't have what I needed, and I was just so down about things. And I walked in with just the best smile I could muster on my face. And I remember seeing people, and I'm like, these people are normal like me. And then Chrystal walked in. And she's like, hi, I'm Chrystal.
She was so broken when she came in, and I was surprised how broken, and she showed it so much, and my heart just went out because I knew without a doubt the transformation I'd experienced in my own life, that it was possible. And it was just really a belief of taking the steps and showing her that it is okay to be broken, that it is okay to not know the answer. It is okay to not accept abnormal things that happen. It is okay to be who you are. But I'm going to show you and help you with, hey, we're going to take a step forward. Even though we don't know what is ahead, it's just taking that step.
I was glad to be there. I didn't know what to expect. I was so afraid of judgment. But when I walked in, I just felt this peace. I felt that it was okay. It was okay to let go. It was okay to release things. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the weight of the world came out through my eyes that night. And I started to listen, and I heard hope. I heard love. I heard you are welcome. I heard, let us partner with you. The words just came through. One of the best feelings a person could feel. And then I cried on Chrystal.
I remember one of the first things when we did the assessment together was I said, who do you trust? And she goes, I trust my mom. And I said, well, I can be on there too. And she looked at me, she goes, you're a maybe. And I go, okay. And I said, I accept that as a maybe. I said, right now, you don't know what you can trust and who you can trust. I said, Mary, by the time this is over, you will be able to trust me, and I will be able to trust you. And yeah, it's unbelievable. But she was honest, and I respected that too. I was like, good, tell me, show me, because talk is cheap. Actions have to line up with the words, and that's very important. And her words and actions lined up, and I came alongside and said, so does mine. It was never more one or the other. It was, we're in this together and we're going to get through it. And so that is what I admire the greatest about her, is that she never quit, even though she was unsure of so many things. This is a safe place. It's so important that we make that known. And she realizes that I will always be a safe place. And she has become a safe place for me now. I knew I was going to get blessings out of it, but what I received was much more than I expected. Same thing for me. God got me too. It was like, wow, you're going to get a lot out of this too. So
I'm a million years away from where I was when I first started. I go to a really wonderful church. We do life together. We have community groups. And so my friend Tracy and I lead a community group. And we just let people come where they are. And I really like that. I love getting to help people one-on-one because I want them to have the hope and the encouragement and the love that I have. I want them to have the joy and the peace that I have. I also like to volunteer at our food bank. It has come full circle. I started out in the food bank, and now I pray over people in the food bank. And I love just getting to walk up to their window and say, hey, my name's Mary. How can I pray for you today? And some of them want prayer for their family, and some of them want healing, and some of them are financial. And every now and then you'll encounter one that rolls the window up. I pray over their car anyway. They don't want me to pray over them. Well, I'll pray for the whole car. And you walk over to the person and you just say, can I pray for you? Can I give you a hug? They just look at you like you're nuts. And then when you give them a hug, they tell you everything. They're just like, oh, I've just been so down. You just don't understand what it means to have this hug. I appreciate you being willing to pray for me. And it makes all the difference in the world. Momentum has changed my life in so many ways. Momentum provides you with a place that is safe. It gave me a place where I could be me, where I could cry, where I could laugh, where I could learn. It gave me the skills that I need to be able to write a resume and do a good interview. The budgeting class is probably my favorite one, but it instills a sense of confidence in you. I would say momentum was probably the reason that I was okay. The Holy Spirit had a lot to do with it, but He worked through the program at Momentum, and I will forever be grateful.